So, good afternoon. It's January the 26th. It's nearly the end of January, and we're here for Talking Cafe Live in Mendip. I'm Tracy Bland. I'm actually a community agent in West Somerset, but I'm supporting Talking Cafe Live this morning with Sally Sargent to talk about village halls and the innovation for the future with them. So I'll bring Sally in to our Talking Cafe Live this afternoon even. There we go. Hi, Sally.
Hi, Tracy. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, really good, love. Thank you. It's nice to see you. So what are we sort of looking at the Talking Cafe Live this afternoon? What are we hoping? I know you've got a couple of guests coming in.
I do, yes. So I am the Community Buildings Advisor at CCS. So I don't know if it's worth just saying a little bit about the services we offer for village and community halls first, because people
Yes,
might
please. Yeah, that'd be really helpful.
Okay, that's great. Well, through CCS, we have a membership scheme for village halls and other community buildings. And halls can sign up, and then in return, they get advice and support and training and information. And it can be about anything from charity governance to bouncy castles. There's a lot of information, but there's a lot you need to know if you're involved in managing a hall.
And I suppose it's been really difficult, hasn't it? Because a lot of the community halls will have been shut, but now it's the time for things to start to reopen and new committees maybe to be formed to have really a fresh start, I suppose, for everybody. Because community halls are a major part of these little parishes that we have, aren't they?
They really are. They're really vital, and I think it's quite easy for us to take them for granted. I don't know about you, Tracy, but we moved into Somerset, and the village hall was really critical to me meeting people and getting out. You know, I started
very much so, yeah, because obviously I came from Yorkshire, so I lived in Leeds, which was a city. To come to West Somerset was like, wow, it's a little village in Willerton or Watchet. So yes, it was very much part of, Watchet Community Centre was how I went to the toddler group with my children. So vital part of me making friends, like you say. So,
absolutely.
So Tim and Caroline in. So they are from let me get it right.
Yeah.
Ashwick and Oakhill in Mendip. So here's Tim and Caroline to join us for today.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So do you want to tell us about your involvement, Tim and Caroline, or how because you say recently you just got involved with your community hall?
Yeah, I think, we did. We've been on our committee as trustees for about 18 months now. So during the early stages of COVID, when the hall was actually shut, but at the point we joined, we learned about what had been proposed by trustees, some of which were still there, some of which had already just left. And that was to basically repurpose the hall. And this is prior to COVID, following the loss of a major contract or a major client that we had, which was the local play group that was using the hall every 5 days a week. So we lost our major income that we had.
Wow.
But then, having been in the hall for about 20 odd years, the hall was in a very tired state and didn't really look fit for purpose for expanding it and trying to find new groups to use the hall. Along came COVID and completely sort of shut us down anyway during that period. And we were very fortunate, as I think a lot of village halls were, to receive certain grants from the local councils, which effectively kept us afloat. And we used that money principally, plus some money we had of our own, to completely re-transform the hall, redecoration, new flooring, windows, doors, carpets, curtains. We had a new heating system put in because it was an extremely drafty hall, which a lot of people found uncomfortable.
Did you find you were able to get local businesses to help with this, or did you have to get
not at this stage? No.
That's okay.
we were only meeting via Zoom, as I think a lot of halls probably were at that time, because we couldn't meet together. But I just think we felt that if we wanted to present ourselves in the best possible light, we really needed to spend some money. Unfortunately, the money was necessary, and it needed to be spent on the hall to transform it.
Yeah.
But during this time, we also started to look at what else we could do with the hall to transform its prospects. We are a hall. We are a fair size hall. We did have changing rooms as part of football pitches, which we have outside. So we have a very large recreation area. We have a children's play area. We have a very large car park. And we do have some additional rooms within the hall. It's not just a hall and a kitchen and toilets.
Yeah.
It does benefit from storerooms and a committee room and things like that. As a result, with talking to local people within the village, we put out questionnaires in terms of what do people want. And we came up with the idea of actually converting certain rooms into a community cafe.
Excellent idea.
We're transforming a garage and a storeroom and one of the changing rooms into a kitchen, a brand new kitchen, with access to the outside, with a new seating area outside, as well as access to the cafe inside, and actually creating a cafe, an informal area where people can meet and gather, as well as converting one of the other rooms into a community bookshop swap area.
Wow.
As well as a local history room. We have a local history group that have a lot of material which they keep off site, and we're going to use one of these rooms to actually display all of the local history material for the village in there with a book swap area. So its plans are afoot. We did have to do it professionally. We did have to get professional plans drawn up by an architect.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of to-ing and fro-ing with trustees, especially over Zoom, which wasn't easy.
No, not ideal.
But trying to work out how to knock down certain walls and areas. But we came up with plans, and then it came forward to the fundraising, and this is where Sally's help came in with suggestions of various grants that were available.
So somebody that just might have a question then, if they're thinking that they've got a local village hall at present and obviously is in disrepute, like what you were saying about your hall, what do you think the timescale was from when you came into it to actually sort of the first stage with planning? You know, obviously very much hard through Zoom, but what do you say that was that timescale before Sally then came involved, really? Just the sort of people that might watch this might be thinking, oh, actually, we'd like to do this with our village hall, but how do we move forward, and what is the timescale on that?
It's very, very interesting. I think it's a very good question. You need a very committed, we are a small number of trustees in our hall. We only have 7 trustees, but everybody who's on the committee is very
committed,
keen and dedicated, and I think that is very driven. I think if you have a very small team, it can become a little overwhelming, I believe, for somebody to consider all of what we have achieved and what we've done. You do need to sort of get back the community feel for what you're trying to achieve, and actually try to bring in others within the community to actually help and assist, and using all the skills that are available probably within every community, but bringing in those relevant skills from different people to actually help drive the project forward. I mean, I would say probably from where we've been, we are looking at about 18 months to 2 years.
That's pretty doable though, isn't it? That you know, for somebody thinking about that, I would have thought it could have been longer than that. So and
I think it can be sometimes. I think Oakhill, the committee are particularly driven. They've been really impressive. And I think that it's one of the first things we do say to people, that you are in for the long haul. If you've got a big renovation or a new development and plan, that you're planning, then just be aware that it does all take time. You need to do it properly. You need to go out to your community and talk to them about what they want, like Oakhill have. You then need to sort of look at the funding and and support that's available. So it's certainly not a quick win, but I think Ashwick and Oakhill are such an amazing example of a really energised committee with new committee members, and they are looking at their community, their widest community, and thinking, what else can we do? You know, and with local services closing down, things like community cafes and service and any other services or support you can offer for your village hall is going to become increasingly important. So I think hats off to you, Tim and Caroline.
Well, we're not there yet.
Yeah, you're well on the way.
Yeah.
You know, but we've been successful at a number. I mean, people that are worried about raising money, because I think we were when we first joined. How much is this going to cost? You know, where are we going to raise this sort of money to do all this building work and what have you? You know, and the total project value for what we're achieving is somewhere between £70,000 and £90,000. So it's not an insignificant sum, but we have been surprised at the number of organisations that are out there that are willing to help. It properly thought through proposals that have clearly been, you know, well thought through by the village. You've got the plans in place. You know, we have raised a significant amount of money so far from Mendip District Council, Somerset County Council, through grant applications. Yeah, Prince's Countryside Fund, we've been successful. They were very helpful. We've put in further applications now to the lottery and to the Garfield Western Foundation, who are looking to help small village halls.
So, Tim, did you actually have to fill in those forms, or was it Sally that was supporting you to fill in those? If you said to me, fill in a grant form, I'd want to go running, because I've seen them many years ago when I was at a local toddler group, and the 75 pages that you need to fill in can be really daunting. So
actually, they haven't been too horrendous, luckily, because we're a husband and wife as well. So I love paperwork, and I also do the financial side, but Tim has a background in financial as well. So actually the combination of us both worked really well. Once you tackle one, and I have to say there was nothing as daunting as 75 pages.
Nothing matters.
good.
And you've got the bones, and actually, you know, you can then adapt to that to suit other further applications. So it's just getting started on that initial one, really.
Yeah,
That's good.
We always say it's have a little.
And to be fair, I think Sally did say, you know, if you need any support with any of the questions, that she would be there. So
yeah, that is one of the perks of membership, that we can offer a certain amount of support to halls, particularly in terms of identifying funds. And if they do want further support, then that is also available through the Smart Community team as well. But Ashwick and Oakhill have been doing it all themselves. So
Brilliant.
It is doable. A lot of the questions that you are asked, there is a lot of information given to you as to what sort of things they are looking for you to comment on. So you aren't left completely blind as to what to write in various boxes. You know, you are guided to a large extent about the things you need to think about and the things you need to comment on within the application. And it did take time. Fortunately, we were able to commit the level of time required at the back end of last year and so far in January to doing this. It does take a little time, there's no doubt about it, but I think you get easier as you do one.
It's about knowing your community, isn't it? And I think if you know your community really well,
yeah,
and you say that you were speaking to people in your community as well, when you start to do the grant form, you know what the community, having those conversations that you will have had, I presume, on your Zoom meetings, so you know where you want to go with that village hall. Like you say, you had in mind that community cafe, which, you know, and having the outdoor space is going to affect many people that maybe still, even now, don't want to go to a cafe and doors and have that option of sitting outside wrapped in their scarf and everything else. You know, we've just started a community meal at Willerton Pavilion. So that again is a small village. They've got a new pavilion which was funded, and obviously that was shut through everything. And now we've only been running it a couple of weeks. We've got 13 people come in. foxes from Minehead come in and actually cook the meals. So like you say, with your full fitted kitchen, you know, before you know it, I could imagine you'll be doing a community meal locally as well.
Maybe.
Definitely, but you know.
Well, we've instructed builders, so we've raised £50,000 now so far.
Wow.
So we've
amazing.
Committed builders. They're starting in March. We still need to raise some more money for the actual kitchen itself and the seating areas. So we're probably still looking for another 20 a minimum. But you know, I think we felt we need to get cracking with this. We haven't committed what we haven't got. We know we can get ahead with the building work. But in the meantime, we are cracking on with further applications, and you know, if you put the time in, it's surprising what rewards you can get out of it.
So, and the reason that I wanted to invite Tim and Caroline on today is because this is a very special week for Village Halls. It's National Village Halls Week, and this is the 5th year of the campaign. It was set up by ACRE, which is Action with Communities in Rural England. And this year they're theming it on innovating for the future. And it's exactly this. It's about halls thinking forward and thinking how they can be there for the communities in the future, you know, what more they can be doing. And one of the things we're being challenged to do is just to think, to pledge to do one different thing that you're maybe not already doing in your hall. That might be a new activity, or might be a new event, or it could be a new community cafe, or you know, something like that. So on the ACRE website, they actually have these. Oh, can I do it? There we go. Pledge forms.
Oh, yeah.
And you can download them and then write what you're planning to do as your committee on it. And then if you just post those on social media with #Village Halls Week, then we'll pick it up at CCS, and hopefully ACRE will pick it up nationally, and we can really get some publicity for halls and what they're doing. And there's some incredible things happening right across Somerset. We've got some amazing halls. We've got halls putting in electric charging points. We've got halls putting in changing places toilets for accessibility purposes. We've got halls running all sorts of events. We had I've just come off a members event talking about arts in village halls with theatre and arts exhibitions and all sorts of things. So it's a really good opportunity to shine a light on that, and to say a massive thank you for all the Tim and Carolines out there who are working so hard behind the scenes. Because you know, as you say, we just take it for granted these halls are here, and I think they rarely get thanked for the work they're putting in. So thank you.
Yeah. So it's been lovely to meet you and to find out about what goes on in your local villages, you know, so when I'm in a different part of Somerset. So thank you, Tim and Caroline, for joining us today. And thank you, Sally, for telling us all about the Village Halls Week and how, you know, that people can apply and get in contact with CCS. And let's see if we can get all these village halls up and running, say, within the next couple of years, and lots of different activities going on. And maybe every village hall might have a community meal once a month, maybe. Maybe one might need to have that.
Yeah.
And then we can say bye-bye, COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, could I say one more thing about something? One more thing. We got a new project planned. We're launching tomorrow. I just wanted to put the call out in case anyone doesn't know about it. I've done my own little pledge sheet here. And I don't know if you can read that. It's to provide more advice for halls as are making environmental improvements. So tomorrow morning we're launching a 2-year project which is funded by the Prince's Countryside Fund and Western Power Distribution, and we'll be running a whole series of events as well as offering energy audits for halls, advice on renewable technologies like solar panels and air source heat pumps. So if anybody wants to know about that, then either come along to our event tomorrow or contact me and I can let you know how you can benefit from that as well.
Excellent. That sounds really exciting. Well, that's been lovely. So thanks for joining us all today on Talking Cafe, and we'll say bye for now and see you all next week with somebody else. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye.